Setting the action at the nut is very difficult. It takes skill and a lot of practice. If you want to invest in the tools, you could buy a set of nut slotting files, and you can use the same feeler gauge that you use for doing the truss rod adjustment, although you have to select a different blade thickness. You use 0.018 inches or 0.454 millimeters. So our first step would be to take our feeler gauge and insert it between the fret and the string at the first fret and see if there's any space between the string and the fret. If you push on the string and it goes up and down, then you know there's space. If it doesn't move, then you're okay. If it actually lifts up when you're putting the gauge in, that means that it's probably already slightly too low. In some cases, if it doesn't buzz when you play the string, you can leave it. If it's already buzzing when you play open, and yet when you put your finger at the first fret it doesn't buzz, then that tells you that the string is too low at the nut and that the nut will need to be shimmed up or replaced. Now, the procedure for cutting the nut is that we actually select one of these nut cutting files, and there's different gauges for each size of string. You notice on this one it says 46. That is for a 46 gauge string. So basically what we would do is we would loosen the string down. We'd take the blade and we would insert it in the slot, and then we would aim it at the same angle that the string goes from the nut to the capstan, and we would file it a little bit at a time. Then we would put the string back in place. Then we'd take our feeler gauge after we've tuned it back to pitch and insert it and see if we got enough. If we got it so it's just right, then we wouldn't require any more adjustment. If we don't, then we would do some more. It's always good to be cautious. You know, measure twice, cut once, and then you have to repeat that procedure for every string. And once those are all set, then we can move on to intonation adjustment.